Guys, what's going on? So today we're going to do some leak code, okay? And um, here's a big boy that we need to tackle today. So merge strings alternately, okay? So the prompt says you're given two strings, word one and word two. Merge the strings by adding letters in alternating order, starting with word one. If a string is longer than the other, append the additional letters onto the end of the merged string. Okay, so give us a little bit of information, things that we need to look out for, and all that, right? And eventually, we want to make sure that we are returning a merged string that combines word one and word two, okay, into a single string. All right. Um, they gave us an example. This is example one. So as you can see right here, uh, we want to be able to traverse every single character contained within word one and do the same with word two, right? But it's just not printing out word one and then you append word two, right? That's not it. Here you can see that first we start off with the first character, right? In word one. Once we're done with that, then let's traverse also word two. Okay. Once we're done, let's go back to word one. Okay. And then do the same until we get to the end, right? And the key right here is making sure that we're not out of bounds with the length for both strings, right? So we want to make sure that we're within, the range as we move through every single character, we're still within the range, right? So if the other one is actually longer than the other string, then we just whatever that's remaining, we'll just append it to the end of our merged string. Okay. Um, yeah, and yeah, they have a couple examples right here. So you can see sometimes, some of the strings are not even. So we should be able to make sure that we factor in uh, how we can, solve or include merging uneven streams. Okay, sweet. So how am I going to solve this? Oh, by the way, I'm going to be using Java, this language. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, but I'm going to be using Java to solve this problem. So we could go with using a string, right? But here's the problem with using a string to be able to, get this merge string, combining word one and word two. The problem is with strings, we can still modify this, the string, but the problem is every time you modify it, a new object is created, right? And this is pretty much heavy, especially with loops and how many operations you need to do to manipulate the string itself, right? So I don't think that'll be the right way to do this, right? A string, it's immutable, and like I said, we can still modify it, but it keeps creating objects, and it's not good, right? Uh, an alternative to that, right, will be to use maybe a string builder or string buffer, depending on if you want to get to the nitty-gritties like thread safety and all that, right? But yeah, for this problem, I'm going to be using a string builder to solve it, right? Because it's mutable, right? I can still make some modifications to the string without really creating a new object, which is pretty cool, right? Okay, so let's get to this. I'm just going to be talking whilst I'm doing some coding right here. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to create a string builder object. Okay, I'm going to call it SB and string builder. Oh, typos. Okay, so here's my object for the string builder. And now I also need, remember how we talked about we need to be traversing every single character within each string, right? So I might need one that will traverse word one. and I also need another one that will traverse word two. Okay, so I'm just gonna do int I is equal to 0, comma j is equal to 0. Okay, so these are the two indices I'm going to be using to traversing every single character within word one and word two, right? Uh, so remember, what's more important right here is to make sure that we're still within the bounds of the length of each string, right? So I'm going to have a while loop that's gonna check. I'm gonna check for this condition. For as long as I still have I within the range or j within the range of my string, then hey, I'm gonna keep doing some operations, right? I'm gonna keep traversing the strings, right? So I'm gonna do a while I is less than so I'm gonna start off with word one dot the length, okay, or j is less than the length. Okay, what am I gonna do? Well, I'm gonna have two conditions, right? So I'm gonna do if. So this is where I'll be appending. This is where I'm going to be doing the appending of each character from both word one and word two, and then at the end just combine them into a single string, right? And I'll just return SB because SB will contain the merged string, right? So I'm going to do if. I'm just going to copy this guy right here. I'm too lazy to type. Okay. So if I is still within the range of the length for word one, okay, uh, then I need to do something, right? I'm gonna do SB dot append. So I'm gonna append each character, okay, and I'm gonna do a word. So to get the character, right now, as you can see, I'm traversing using the index, but to get the character, uh, for each in word one string, then I'm gonna do uh char add, and then I'll just pass in I. Okay. Um, doing this is not enough because if I leave this way, it's just gonna print the first character and that's it. Okay. But I want to be able to keep traversing word one for as long as this condition is true, right? And obviously, yes, this has to be true also, right? Uh, both or either one has to still have some character contained within each string, right? So for as long as this condition is true, hey, I'm gonna keep traversing uh word one, but in order for me to increment my index from 0 to 1 until I get to the end, I'll just do plus plus, right? And this is done. I'm just going to copy this right here, and I'm going to do the same for word two. Okay. Uh, so if I'm going to make some tweaks right here, I'm going to change this to word two, and then I'm going to change this to J. Okay. So what's happening? Uh, so remember, word one. Okay. So word one has A, B, C. And then word two has, I think it's P, Q, R. Okay. So what's going to happen is I'm going to start off with this loop. Okay. Is this true? If it's true, in this case, what's going to happen? I'm going to come to this condition. Okay. I'm going to check, is I still less than the length? True. It is, right? So I'm going to come, grab A. I'm done with the first operation. Then come to this one. Okay. Boom. I'll then take um P, right? Come back again. Look at this condition. It's still true. What about this condition? It's still true. Okay. I'm going to grab B. Then I'll do the same for here. I'll grab Q and then come back right here. Do for C and then R. Okay. And then come check over here. Oh, no. Okay. Because we have traversed both the strings and with the and. So these becomes false, right? Because we don't have anything. And then we'll check once it's all false, we'll leave this loop, right? And then what we want to return is SB dot, okay? We're gonna do SB dot to string. Remember, at the end, we need to return a string, right? So if you look from this logic that I just showed you right here, at the end, okay, uh, SB, since we are appending to it, it'll start by appending A, okay? Then it'll go to the second if statement, okay? It'll append P. Then it'll go back and check the while loop, check if it's true. If it's true, then it'll come and check, both of these conditions. So it's going to do now B, then it's done. Then it'll come and do Q, right? Go back again to the while loop, check for the condition, and then get inside. If it's true, then get inside the loop, and then it's going to do C, then do the condition for J, then it's going to do R, okay? Once this is done, it's going to go back again to a while loop. Oh, this is no longer true, right? Because we're at the end. So it skips all this, right? And then it comes right here. Okay, hopefully this is making sense. And this is exactly what will be contained in our SB to string. Okay, hopefully this is making sense. So let's run this and see if our test cases are passing. Okay. What did I do right here? So this one is closing right there. This one is closing right there. I might be saying the closing brace right there. Oh, typo. Word two dot land. Okay, there you go again. This should be two. Hey, sweet. Yep, this is looking good. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and submit. See if everything is working properly. Sweet. Yeah, so 81.94, man. That's not really bad. Okay. So this is working. They could be I mean they could be other data structures you could use, right, to solve this problem. But I think for me this is what I went with, right? Let's talk a little bit about the time complexity for this. So as you can see, that I'm traversing every single string, word one and word two in a linear fashion, right? So I'm going through every single character until I get to the end. So this will be all of n plus n, okay? Because I'm going through word one, in this case is my n in a linear fashion, and I'm doing the same for word two in a linear fashion, right? Sorry, what I can talk in a linear fashion, right? So it's pretty much going to be n plus m, right? So it's not really a bad algorithm, to be honest, right? Because it's truly linear, and if you look at the space complexity, we're not really using extra data structures to be able to store merge strings. So yeah, this is it. Let me know what you guys think, and hopefully this was not confusing. But yeah, thank you. Bye bye.